The Isle of Echoes was never on any map, at least not one you could find in a store. It was a place whispered about in hushed tones by old sailors and curious tourists who stumbled upon it by accident. They said the island was cursed, a place where the dead didn't rest and the living weren't welcome. But I didn't believe in curses. I was a journalist, and the only thing I believed in was the truth. I arrived on the island on a rickety old ferry that seemed to groan with every wave. The ferryman was a gaunt, silent man with eyes as milky as the fog that shrouded the island. He didn't say a word to me, just pointed toward the shore when we arrived. As I stepped off the boat, the sand crunched beneath my feet, and the air filled with an eerie silence. No birds chirped, no waves crashed. It was as though the island itself was holding its breath. I walked toward the only structure in sight, an ancient lighthouse, its tower leaning slightly as if it too were listening. The door creaked when I pushed it open, and I stepped inside, my flashlight casting long shadows on the peeling walls. The air smelled of salt and something else, something metallic, like old blood. At the top of the lighthouse, I found a logbook belonging to a man named Thomas. The entries were decades old, but they spoke of a tragedy, a fire that had claimed the lives of his family. He wrote about hearing their voices, seeing their shadows, and feeling their cold breath on the back of his neck. The last entry was a single sentence. "She's coming for me." I shivered. Though the air was thick with heat, the flashlight flickered, and I heard it, a low, melodic laughter that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I spun around. But I was alone then. I heard footsteps. They were light, almost awful, and they seemed to be coming from the room below. I descended the stairs slowly, my heart pounding. When I reached the bottom, I saw a figure standing in the corner, shrouded in shadows. "Hello," I called out, my voice trembling. The figure didn't move. Instead, it began to hum, a soft, haunting tune that sent chills down my spine. Then, it stepped forward, and I saw her. She was a woman with long, flowing hair and a dress that seemed to ripple like water. Her eyes were black as coal, and her smile was wide and unnerving. "You shouldn't be here," she said, her voice echoing in my mind. I tried to run, but my feet felt heavy, as though they were rooted to the spot. She reached out a hand, and I felt a cold touch against my cheek. Then everything went black. When I came to, I was lying on the floor, my head throbbing. The woman was gone, but the laughter lingered in the air. I stumbled to my feet and ran out of the lighthouse, not stopping until I reached the shore. The ferry was still there, but the ferryman was gone. As I waited, I noticed something strange. The sand around me was untouched, no footprints, no signs of life. And then I saw, in the distance, a figure standing at the top of the lighthouse. It was me. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. The figure waved at me, and then the world went dark again. When the ferry finally came back, they found my camera on the shore. The last footage showed the lighthouse, the waves, and a shadowy figure waving goodbye. They never found me. Some say I'm still there, trapped on the Isle of Echoes, forever doomed to relive that horrifying day. Others say the island doesn't exist at all. But if you ever hear the sound of waves and laughter in the dead of night, don't look back. Just keep running.